Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and yeah, this is going to be the second episode to Sengoku Rance, and yeah, let's get right into explain this shit. So, first of all, I want to divert your attention down to the lower, this bottom half right here. You can see that there are quite a few tabs here, and I'm gonna go over what each of them means. So. Right here we got the system tab. It's just basically your game mechanics thing. You got your save slots. Just gonna save right now. As you can see, these are all saved save slots that I feel are pretty important, and you can see the tags there, right there. So you can delete them. It's just that whenever you have something that you don't want to delete, and then you can say like, oh, enter comment, and then select on this one and say like start of true route, and then something like that. And then once you delete saves without that don't have this little star comment on it, then you can go ahead and delete all of them except for these ones. So highly useful. The game does have 999 save slots. Use them. You will be glad that they gave you 999 save slots. God. And to exclusive webpage, this is to Alisoft's JP domain webpage. If you click on this while you're anywhere else other than Japan, you will not be able to access that page because it is region locked in Japan, so you can't access it from America or anywhere else from Japan, unfortunately. CG mode, this is where all those pictures are. Yes, all the goodies. They're all right here. No, I'm not gonna click on it. Music mode, we can just go here. This is all the OSTs, the BGMs in this game, so you can, whenever you want to just listen to one of them, you can just always click on any of these, and then you can just play them. Pretty cool. And settings, you can just alter the settings here, battle, message, other settings, whatever, what have you. And to title screen, this will just take you to the title screen, and end game, it'll just shut out of the game entirely, and save. We've already demonstrated that. Now here is the items tab. Also, you can press F1, F2, F3, F4 respectively for these 4 tabs. So if you press F2, the items tab comes up. And as you can see, you get your list of commanders. All commanders in Sengoku Rance are able to hold up to 1 item. And some commanders like Rance already come with an item equipped, and you can't de-equip him. So he will always have Demonic Sword Chaos, which gives him 20% increased damage with each strike that he lands on an enemy. If I try to drag it away from it, it'll say you can't unequip him with Demonic Sword Chaos. So unfortunately, you can't add like any other. You can't have him hold any other item up besides his sword. Oh yes, that is his sword and his sprite right there. So yeah, I'm gonna start equipping my commanders with some necessary items here. And first off, this is what I usually like to do with my first games, or in every game. First of all, I'm gonna have Ranmaru have the popularity staff. Let's see, I'm gonna have Akechi Hide hold the all gold statue. Niwa, for now, he gets the Ryugu sword Urashimaru, whatever you want to call it. That gives him plus 100 damage to each shot he basically fires, regardless of how many units, regardless of how weakened his unit is. So in Sengoku Rance, your overall strength really depends on your unit composition, or not your unit composition, the number of troops that you have. Less number of troops you have, the less damage you're gonna do to another enemy. So this item is particularly useful because even if he's the only one left on his in his unit, that means he can still inflict at least 100 damage. So that's really good. Let's see here. Maeda is going to have the where is that? Ah, crap! I accidentally right-clicked, which exits the item tab. Mayatoshi is going to hold the bunny mask. It gives him plus 2 in stat defense, which is very good actually. And yeah, Shibata is gonna hold the good old protection paper, which he starts off with the guard Shikigami, and basically the guard Shikigami will be able to let him tank an entire attack for no damage at all. So it's very useful. So Yamagata Masakage, he's one of the most fucking powered generals or commanders in this entire game. You will see why once I increase his stats. And for now he's gonna have the good old guts armor. Sonata Torin. I like to have him hold the blue seal case on him. And Baba Shoen. Once I actually get into contact with the original country Takeda here, then I'll equip what's called Rance's Love, which they're not gay, but it is an item that allows any commander that holds this item to have +2 increase in affection. I'll get into affection in a little while, but that's not now. But basically, I can't unequip this once I do. So if I were to let go right now, because I'm holding on with my left button on the item, we won't be able to unequip it off him. So for now, I'm just gonna have him hold the Power Golden Bear, which gives him +2 in attack. So Kosaka Yoshikage. Kosaka Yoshikage. He will hold the poison Soso Poison Dagger, which gives him 20% increase in damage, and it's unit exclusive only to ninjas. So he's a ninja, thus he gets this. Elena, the only reason why she is kind of bad is because of her slow speed stat, and that is compensated by this strange quick bug, which now gives her speed 7 of 7, or speed stat of 7. And the reason why she's so good, all guard Shikigami. I usually use her as a defensive diviner unit, and this is why. So, and if I do need to attack with her, she does have 8 damage, she has 8 attacks, so yeah, she's pretty powerful. So yeah, that's about it for people holding stuff. So we're gonna go back out here and go into our troops tab. Now this is where I'm gonna explain all the kind of important mechanics of this game in terms of in relative to battles and army battles and whatnot. So Rance, first of all, about this tab itself, you can see that replenish all units at once. You need this much gold to replenish all these wounded units, and if you click on this, then they're all going to be healed. You can also click on these individually, and you can replenish them individually as well. So let's move on to like the actual units themselves. Oh, you can also recruit people, but then recruiting people is a lot more expensive than just obtaining them from battles, and that I'll explain too later. Okay, so let's get into unit tabs, types right away. So Rance and Ranmaru have this sword emblem next to their names. That denotes that they are warrior units. Warrior units are the standard bread and butter front row units in the game. And front row units can only be deployed in the front to be mostly effective. If they're placed in the back row, they can't do anything because they're not listed as ranged. They don't have any ranged attacks, so they must be placed in the front row because they're melee units. They have to be in the front row. So that these guys are warriors. They are your standard DPS, like high DPS units, because they're meant to be offensive units. And at the moment, Ranmaru is more powerful than Rance, but do keep in mind that Rance can become very powerful if you do choose to invest in him and his unit, that is. And yeah, that's about it for warriors. Once again, they're mainly offensive type units that do some serious damage if you are not careful. Next up are these two units that have a shield emblem next to their names. Shibata Katsui and Maeda Toshie are what are called guard units, or in other words, they're foot soldiers. We're just going to call them guard units because that's what they're commonly called and known as. Guard units are the essential, defense units. Kind of self-explanatory there, don't you think? So their main defining move is their passive skill called Ally Guard. This is basically just a move that defends their if it's just ally card, it defends their kind of column of units. So if any enemy targets any of your units that the guard unit is guarding, then they will block the shot, or they will block the attack for that unit that was originally targeted, and they will take the damage instead. So they're very, very useful for allowing your more valuable warrior units, your more valuable ninja units, your more expensive units in general to be spared part of the damage, and they will tank it for you. And the good thing is about these guys, because they're meant to be guard units, and the game knows that you're going to lose a lot of foot soldier units eventually or over time, the good thing about them is that you only need to have 1 replenishment cost for each soldier you lose, whereas almost all other unit types, it requires 4 gold to replenish each unit, so it really adds up. And replenishing guard units is really easy to do because they only cost 1 gold, and it's really inexpensive and cheap. So yeah, because they are mainly defense units, their base attack is not very high. So I mean, there are some very powerful defense or these guard units, guard unit commanders in the game. But then even then, compared to like other commanders of different unit types that have the same attack stat, they are quite underpowered. So I mean, whatever. They do have certain moves that do make up for their kind of lack in attack, base attack, but we'll get to that in a second, or later, that is. So yeah, those are guard units, good old guard units. So Akechi Mitsuhide and Sanada Torin here are what are called tacticians. Tacticians are one of the essential supporting units in this game. What their main kind of fighting moves, techniques, and skill set are these battle strategy and remove status. These battle strategy, this battle strategy passive, or no, it's a defensive skill. Sorry, I'm getting confused. This defensive skill is what defines the tacticians, and it basically allows you to buff your units in game, so it adds a certain percentage to your units stats in game. So let's say you chose this move in the battle, and then by the way, it does distribute buffs randomly, which you saw me do in the first episode during the first fight. And each arrow will indicate like that the unit will have some sort of increase. I don't know exactly how much increase, but I predict like at least a 30 or 25% increase in that particular stat. So the 4 battle stats that can be buffed are attack, defense, intelligence, and speed, which you see right here: attack, defense, intel, and speed. So yeah, right there you can see right off the bat. And yeah, you can upgrade these. Oh, let me click on it. You can upgrade this. Like for example, Sanada Torin starts with battle strategy 3. That means this is the maximum. If you upgrade this is the fully maxed out kind of skill set there is for battle strategy, the techniques, and he will buff the maximum amount of basically boosts to your army in battle, whereas he will only boost the minimum amount. You'll see how it works in game when I compare the two. So yeah. And then also remove status. These two are default for most tacticians. Sometimes there will be tacticians like Sanada Torin who will have something different. Like he has battle rating down 2, but I'll explain that after I explain remove status 1. Basically, as you can see from the tag right there, it removes boosts from a maximum of 2 enemy units. So the difference between battle strategy 1 and remove status 1, besides the obvious difference that 1 is defensive, 1 is offensive, is that battle strategy 1 is kind of like a random distribution of arrows, whereas this remove status is like a random target. Like it'll randomly choose 2 units that do have buffs. Like say all enemy units on the field that are facing you all have buffs of some kind. That means that when you click on this attack, it's not really attack, but it's considered an offensive move. When you click on this attack, 2 enemy units at random will lose all their buffs. So it kind of evens out the playing field. This kind of helps you. This helps you. Obviously, not kind of, but it does help you. And this basically degrades your enemy's performance if they do have battle boosts to them. So yeah, that's that. And getting over to Sanada Torin, his offensive kind of tactician's move is battle rating down 2, which directly alters the battle morale meter, which is pretty significant actually, but I'll get into that in a second once we actually start fighting battles here. Now moving on to here, these are the standard enemy support units called archers. So obviously there you can see that they are archers, and Niwa Nagahide is your only default archer, and he will always be with you in every game you have. So the only real advantage he has is that he starts with a lot of troops, 450 compared to like say Rance's 150 troops. So, but then everything else is shitty about him. He's got crappy stats, he's got crappy defense. I mean, God knows if he gets hit by a strong unit, then he's done. He's like, yeah, he's done. So to augment his power a little bit, that's why I gave him the Ryu Sword Urushimaru or Rashimaru. So yeah, he does come with the passive skill Defeated Warrior Hunt. So you are able to, basically it just increases the chance to capture enemy commanders, and I'll get into like the capture kill thing about the on army battles. So yeah, just keep in mind that he has a special passive skill that he always has, no matter every time you start a new game. So now let's get into these special characters here. These four right here, from Yamagata Masakage to Kosaka Yoshikage, are the Takeda generals. And like I said, Yamagata Masakage is one of the most overpowered generals in this fucking game. Just from his skill set alone, battle rating up to cavalry charge, on rush, and Furin Kazan. This passive skill is unique to these four Takeda commanders only. As you can see, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it, and he's got it. They all have Furin Kazan, and Furin Kazan, I don't know what to say, how to pronounce it properly, but basically this passive skill allows them to start with all their battle stats buffed as they start the game, which is really, really good, and really bad for you if you're facing them. So yeah, you'll see what I mean actually when I actually get to the battle. And these battle stats, these battle boosts are what I was mentioning about these battle strategies. They are the same thing. So they don't need any commander tacticians with them to give them those boosts. When you deploy them in battle, they will start with them right away. So that's really good. And what makes this guy so dangerous is not only does he have 8s in all battle stats, but he has an ability called Onrush, which makes him do 3% more damage, and he does 1 action point damage, which I'll get in that too when I go in depth about each statistic. He does 1 action point damage, and if you guys have ever played this at all, that's really significant, because what if the unit he targets, assuming that unit survives the Masakage's onslaught, that is, only has 1 action flag left, then he's done. Like, he can't act anymore, so that's really dangerous. So yeah, Baba Shoen, these two are the important cavalry commanders. He's the more army battle based cavalry commander, but in solo commander battles, like dungeon battles, he's not very good. He's only got a level cap of 34, whereas Baba Shoen is like the exact opposite. He starts with relatively low battle stats, even though they're really good too, but then his level cap is absolutely fucking ridiculous, 68. My god, I think he's like, if you fully max him out, like he level up like 18 times, he's I think the 4th strongest commander, actually 5th strongest commander in the entire game. So that really says something about him. He's a very talented solo commander battle general. So yeah. Also, you can actually upgrade all his stats too, so it's not, and you can make him as good as Yamagata Masakage in army battles. So I mean, in the long run, Baba Shoen is the better general, but for now, Yamagata Masakage is more valued because he's got the army battle stats right there, 8888. God damn, with the Furin Kazan, that's really OP. So if you meet these guys and you don't have them, you have every reason in the world to be scared shitless. Now, quickly finishing up here, Kosaka Yoshikage, he is a very strong ninja unit, and he's got 7s in all stats, which doesn't mean he's not as powerful as, like, say, Yamagata Masakage, but he is still indeed very good. He's got the ever potent assassination 2, which is a skill unique to ninja units. So basically the assassinate technique is just to take an entire unit out of commission without damaging their troops at all. So this takes up all your action flags, but then if you do successfully land an assassination, that means you can take an entire unit out of commission without ever having to bother with them at all. And you'll see what I mean once I pull off a successful assassination. And he also, Sanada Tori and or Kosaka Yoshikage also have very high level caps, so that's also a good thing. And Alina, she's a diviner unit, and she basically diviner units are like your magical, like the Eastern mage kind of thing. There is a separate unit type called Western mage, but not really called Western mage, it's called mages. But then these are the Eastern mages, quote unquote, because they're native to Japan, I think so. Whatever. Yeah, so she's very strong. She's got 8 attack. She's got decent defense and intelligence, but they could be better. And now that I've given her the that quick strange bug or strange quick bug item, she's actually now very fast. So keep in mind that diviners already have a very fast base speed stat anyway, so with that bump up in speed, she's going to be one of the first units to move, which is why I really value her, because her defensive skill that she starts off with, All Guard Shikigami, basically it sacrifices all her action flags in exchange for guarding all the enemy, or not all the enemy units, what the hell, all ally units on the field with Shikigami barriers that let them tank one full attack at any given whenever they're attacked. So very good. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a very high level cap. Oh, by the way, Rance has the highest in this game, 99. I've actually gone up to 99 before, and trust me, he's fucking OP at that level. Even at the final boss, went down like what, 4 swipes by him. So so yeah, I'm gonna do some remodeling, and I'm gonna just kind of call this a day for this episode. So I'm gonna increase Rance's max troop limit to 300 because I do have that money. I remember I did choose that plus 10k gold in the very beginning. So yeah, increase my Toshie's let's see, max to 400, and I'm gonna arrange these guys around because I like keeping my armies guys, or my army roster, really organized. And now let's see here, we can put these 2 guys here, we can put this guy here, and then yeah, basically I like to put all the generals that I'm eventually going to dismiss. By the way, you can't dismiss any of these except for Rance because he's like a vital character, so you can't really he can't be dismissed, but you can dismiss everyone else. I don't suggest it unless you really know you want to, like these 2 right here, so because they suck and there's no going around that, and I don't really want to invest the time in them to make them better, though I have made Akechi Mitsuhide better. Like there is an event for him that you can make him a lot better, but then it takes a lot of time and I don't feel like it's worth it. So yeah, yes, save our commanders, and I will be seeing you guys in the next episode, so see ya.